We will continue a little bit more on our design by introducing the gradient color into the web pages. So I just found out about this website. Let me just show you. That's called as a cssgradient.io, where this website actually can generate the what do you call this? The gradient color. So you can actually use it as so many reasons. For example, as for the background of the website, and so on. So what happened is you can pick up any color that you wish. For example, I can do like a little bit of a color here and there. So it actually works very well. And like for examples, I can like try out a little bit like colors as such. Let me just play around with a little bit. Okay, all right, and then after that I can um, yeah. So let's say my what do you call this? Okay, so for examples that the color that looks something like this. All right, let me just change this thing out, and then after that drop it here. So let's say if this is actually a very beautiful colors or very beautiful gradients that I wanted to use it for my design, what I can do is I can use this by copying this script and use it in my web design. So what I'm going to do is I will select this, or what I can do is I can just use a copy to clipboard. Okay, and then I'm going to come back again to my bracket. This time I'm going to go to the main CSS, and then I'm going to name this as a gradient 1. Okay, and this is supposed to be a class. Alright, so I'm going to name this as a class gradient 1, and then I'm going to do the curly bracket open and paste it in here. So by pasting this in, it will become like one class that will do the background gradient whenever you use it inside of your content. So what I'll do is I can just like come back here to the index.html. Let's say I'm going to do this, yeah. So for the body, I'm going to put a class here, and the class is actually gradient 1. All right, let's see what happened just by putting this. Okay, so let me just come back here. So you will see that this is actually the gradient color that will look like. It looks actually pretty nice, but this is not really what I want. I wanted to use this hopefully for a navigation bar. So let's just build up a navigation bar. Alright, I'm going to remove this thing back again. So I'm going to quickly do the navigation bar. We have done it several times before this. So what I'll do is let's just go back again to Bootstraps. Yep, and then go to the document, and then go to the component, look for navigation bar or the nav bar. Alright, copy a list of a nav bar from here. Yep, then after that let's get back again to your scripts. So let's say I'm going to put here a comment that says that this is a navigation bar. Alright, so let's paste it in here. Okay, and I'm going to now, let's take a look first how it looks like. I'm going to come back here. You will see that, oh, the navigation bar looks like this. It looks pretty cool. Alright, so maybe I have to redesign this a little bit. So what I'll do now is I'm going to come from the top, change the container fluids to container. Alright, and then after that change the name here, for examples, to let's just keep it here first, yeah. And then I'm going to take the drop down menu out. Okay, and then the disable menu out. Alright, so, and I'm going to take the form out. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to put the navigation bar or the navigation buttons to the right. So that means that I'm going to put here as MS Auto, saved it up. Let's have a look. Alright, so it looks something like this. Okay, I think at some point it doesn't show, so let me just change this to ME Auto and see whether it moves. Not really, so I'm gonna put here as MX Auto. Sorry, it's not this, eh? I'm gonna change this into MY Auto. It doesn't really change. MXL2. Also not. I don't really understand why. But never mind. What I'm trying to do here is perhaps maybe I'm going to do a copy and paste of a couple of times here of a button so that it will become more than one button. So it looks something like this. Maybe the text now, I'm going to change this into a navbar dark so that the text will become in white color. And the background here, I'm going to change it into gradient 1. So if you see here that the gradient 1 has become like a text on top, and then it will look something like this. Okay, so this is actually how we can get a navbar to actually looks in such a way. Okay, so perhaps maybe you wanted to change the font so that it will become bigger and so on.